Got a bike review. The DK Xenia, named after the town in Ohio. And you can pick these up at Walmart online. Some stores might have them, but I believe it's mostly like a ship-to-store thing. You can pick this thing up. It's a 26-inch BMX bike. And they're only $230. Supposedly the frame is almost identical to the $600 version of this bike. But of course, you know, there's a lot of cheaper parts subbed out on this thing. Couple things you want to know about this bike. It's pretty cool. I mean, you know, for $250 you get a bike that's, you know, it's just like a supersized BMX bike. You know, just single speed for beating around and stuff like that. Comes with a rear disc brake, which is pretty cool. And, you know, overall not too bad for the money. Now, the bad things. It came with a caliper for the rear brake that was missing one of the pads. And turns out, I believe it takes a Hayes pad in there, but I wasn't exactly sure. All the replacement pads that were available for the Chinese caliper on this thing were from stores in England and whatnot. So whatever that brand is, it's popular over there. So I immediately switched that out with a $50 Avid caliper on here, an Avid BB5, and I happen to have an Avid BB7 rotor laying around, so I slapped that on there. So much better than stock. But then again, you know, the stock brake would have worked too if it wasn't missing a pad right out of the box. And the second thing comes with a cool gold chain. The rear freewheel on this thing was totally junk. It actually made a big clunking noise, and other people have complained of the same thing. So I swapped that out with a $20-something California XS freewheel on the back here. It was one of the only ones on Universal Cycles people said was pretty bulletproof. And it uses an 8-prong tool in there. If you like to remove it, it'll also use a regular 4-prong freewheel tool. You can, you know, you've got 4 teeth to engage in there, plus you could turn it and get another 4. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, this thing is ultra smooth and really nice. So made a huge difference in the bike. And the next weird point, it comes with a stem on here that's set up for mountain bike handlebars. So it had just basically a straight flat bar on this thing, a 25.4 millimeter size handlebar. So we ended up just getting rid of that and put on a 7.5-inch rise Bmx handlebar on this thing. And that was kind of pricey. That was $60 for this particular one. And it's got some, we put some Ergon GS1 grips on here, which are for mountain biking, but see, they got like a nice huge flat surface to put your hand on. These are highly recommended. They're really cool. So the 7.5-inch rise was perfect for this bike. So anybody, you know, even taller people can fit on this thing. So, you know, my son's a little bit above average in height, so you know, this is kind of a perfect ride. We're going to wind up switching out the seat and seat post eventually, but, you know, it's okay. The one that came on it is fairly decent. It's okay. You know, it's nothing special, but... So anyway, there you go. It's not a perfect bike for $250, but it's not bad. If you're able to switch out the parts and things like that, you know, a couple of them, or you got some parts laying around, you can trick this thing out a little bit, and it's a pretty decent bike once you put a couple parts on it. Or just go ahead and spend $600 and get a good one right off the bat. Oh, and I forgot to mention too, putting in the Bmx handlebars, they're 22.2 millimeter, I believe, is what they are. So I had to put a shim in here. I just used an aluminum headset shim that I had laying around and cut it in two and put the 2 halves in there like a clamshell, so it shims that up a little bit. And I'm probably going to wind up getting another stem eventually, but you know, whatever. I don't have to do anything to it right now. We're going to go ahead and, you know, thrash this thing a little bit first. But it's a pretty cool bike, you know. Wacky blue rims, gold chain. Gold. Look at that. Yeah. Alright. Rockin'. So that's my review of the DK Xenia from Walmart. Oh, I said Walmart.